Kia ora, Daphne here. Today I'm going to be showing you my favourite plant, and it's called the elder tree. And this tree is highly valuable. It's been called nature's medicine chest and a cure-all because it really can benefit for pretty much most ailments. It has been used for thousands and thousands of years. The earliest recordings of its use, human use, date back to the Neolithic period, around 2000 BC. There's recordings of that, but I'm sure it predates that as well. It was planted as people migrated across Europe and across the world as humans have migrated. It was planted purposefully because it was so valuable. So it's a plant that its medicine is safe for all ages, from infants and babies all through to elderly. It's safe when you're breastfeeding and when you're pregnant, and it has evolved. We've evolved with it through our evolutionary process. It works for our body. It supports our body. So what it really does is it boosts your immune system, and also it blocks the flu virus. So it's really, really effective for the flu and cold virus. And also for hay fever, if you have hay fever issues, sinus issues, ear, nose, throat infections. The berries are really effective, really potent antiviral, and I'll show you that in autumn, because right now it's the flowering tops. I'll just talk mainly about the flowering tops, but the berries are potent antiviral. But the flowering tops are mostly used as an infusion, like a tea form. So look up what that means, an infusion. And I'll talk to you about a couple of recipes, or a recipe and some uses. This is really a really great way of boosting your immune system. So the only contraindication would be if you're on suppressant medication. You don't want to use this because it boosts the immune system. It's it boosts your immune system. So be careful with that. If you're not on that medication, you should really use it. I use it daily, and I use it in my home with my children daily to boost my immune system alongside some other plants, including echinacea and angi. But the elder is a really, really wonderful plant, and if you can get your hands on one, plant one, because they're so valuable. They're actually everywhere. They grow everywhere. I'm in Lower Hutt. I'm driving around. I can see all these elder trees that are popping, that are there. They're mostly around the old state housing areas, actually, because it was used up until not that long ago, and it was very commonly used. So I'll show you what they look like, and then I'll talk to you about I'll tell you a recipe and how to use it. Okay. All right. So these are the flowering tops. This is the tree. Those are the leaves. They're really, really large. So that's my hand there. It's a really large flowering top. Each of those flowers will turn into a berry if you can protect the berries from the birds, because the birds go crazy on them. They love them. So I'll be putting netting over my trees. I've got 4 here. Because I use the flowering tops as well, but I really I prefer the berries personally, but the flowers are much gentler. So what you do is you harvest these flowering tops, dry them, store them in a container, a glass container, out of the direct sun, and so you've got those flowers there to then make an infusion when you want to either reduce fever, or if you have a cold or a flu. You need 2 to 4 cups a day of this for it to be effective. So for each cup, it's a 1 heaped teaspoon. You can use it. You can use more than that if you want, like a tablespoon. And then you sip on that during the day. And for children, to reduce fevers, you make an infusion again, and you just give it to them gradually with a wee syringe or in their bottle. It's very safe, so don't be scared of using it. You just got to try it out slowly. It's also very good for wound healing, for grazes and cuts, for stings. The best way to use that would be to make an infusion with oil, an oil infusion of the flowering tops, and you just apply it to the skin, and it works really well. It's a beautiful plant. I'll just tell you a wee recipe actually. It's called a spring, what's it? I've just got my notes here. It's called the spring elder spring cure recipe. This is a really old recipe that I found with when I was a while ago when I was doing a whole lot of reading. So you take 7 large umbels, which that's an umbel, that whole flowering top is an umbel. Take 7 umbels of elderflowers and place it in 7 litres of water. Add 3 thick slices of lemon without the seeds, and make sure they're organic because you don't want sprays. You allow it to macerate. You allow it to macerate for 24 hours, and then you strain through cheesecloth or muslin. Then you add 1 kg of sugar and more lemon juice to taste. You can reduce that sugar ever so slightly if you're worried about that, but you need that sugar for the carbonation. So stir thoroughly and allow to macerate for another 24 hours. The fresh elder juice is then ready to drink. For even better effects, the juice can be filled into bottles and stored in a cellar to allow, or a dark, cool place, to allow carbonic acid to develop. And this type of elder juice takes about 3 to 4 weeks for adequate carbonation, and it is best chilled before its use. So that's a real lovely, they call it a spring tonic, that depends where you are, it might be early summer. That's a really, really wonderful way to boost your immune system. It's really pleasant. The elder syrup is, tonic is really pleasant. It's a really lovely thing to drink. So for arthritic pain, you make tincture from the flowering tops, and you take it 1 teaspoon with water 3 to 4 times a day. As I say, you can make an infused oil with it for skin irritations. You can then use that oil straight or make it into a balm or a cream if you know how to do that. What else? So the flowering tops, they tone the mucus linings of the nose and throat, which increases their resistance to infection. That's the mechanism behind it. They are usually used for chronic congestion, allergies, ear infections. The infusion, which is the water tea version of this, is of the flowering tops, can reduce the severity of hay fever attacks if you take it some months before the onset of the hay fever season. So you're just about being prepared and kind of knowing if you get hay fever, then have that prepared and build your body up, build your immune system up. So that's the elderflower. There's loads of information out there, especially the history of it. It's an amazing plant. It's a very, very old plant. It's beautiful. I love this plant. So, you know, take a wee look at it. Elder is spelled E-L-D-E-R, elder tree. Sambucus nigra is the Latin name. That's the one you want. So I'm going to be coming back here in autumn, and I'll be talking to you about the berries, which is really exciting. Awesome. So have an awesome summer, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.